Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 415th Knowledge Seekers Workshop here on Thursday, January 13th, 2022. This is a broadcast of the Keshe Foundation Spaceship Institute Education Department and part of the public teachings in English. My name is Rick Crammond, and I'll be host today for Mr. Mehran Keshe, who we will be talking with shortly. But first, I'm going to present a new video that Mr. Keshe has asked me to show. And it's a beautiful new video promoting the Flight Enhancement Spaceship Unit. And let me get that teed up here and enjoy.
Thank you very much, Rick. Good morning, good day to you. As usual, wherever you listen to this series of Knowledge Seekers of the Keshe Foundation, series of teachings, we welcome you back for another session of learning more and sharing more, as we always said. The video you see is a parallel to what we are aiming to achieve this year. The body of the crafts are more or less ready and will be shipped to Arizona, Tehran, and Austria in the next few days, hopefully. And then the technicians and the people who work in the background will endeavor to install all the flight system within them. And we're hoping by March, April to start test flight. You have to understand the new technology is very much different than before. Allows us to travel, allows us without moving from the position for our soul to travel. This is one of the beauties with the system, that you expect to fly in a physical craft, but at the same time of being in the same position, we can allow you through development of the technologies, understanding the work of the universe, your physical dimension to allow your soul free within the system. I mentioned this before in touching the subject, that you might see a light within the system. That light is an interaction of the energy of the soul of the man with the fields within the system. In a way, as we heard in the intro, we open the cage. We allow you trusting your soul to be with you in the dimension of physicality within the engagement of the enhancement unit. It's for you to get to know yourself better, to get to know your creator better. And then in the next test and the next time, maybe you would like to take it for a ride. In a way, in the new systems, you will see a combination of the units which has been developed by the Keshe Foundation. And in that process, we allow your soul, we allow your emotion to take whole dimension and direction, where to be, what do you want to be? It will not be easy for many of you, and many will be, in a way, surprised to see in the dimension of physicality that now, for the first time, they're surrounded with their own soul, where up to now they engage the soul. But they can see the dimension of the physicality of the craft which they chose to be. The whole structure is being within the space of your own soul, but within the space of a system. In so many ways, your soul becomes the sun, and then your dimension of physicality at earth watches its light, watches its beauty. You don't need to dream anymore. You don't need to be there to think, I don't know if it's there or not. It'll become important for many of the scientists who work in this matter in the coming weeks and months, as many of our knowledge seekers teaches them to understand more, for them to see the light of the knowledge, for them to understand the ways to enlighten the others. In choosing the 3 points initial between Tehran, Austria, and Arizona, we allow the creation of star formation for the soul of Mitra to manifest itself in the dimension of the essence of the knowledge, not in the dimension of physicality. And by her presence and on us understanding that we are part of Mitra, we become knowledgeable to the knowledge of the universe. In a way, we become the mirrors of the knowledge. We reflect an understanding of that to our souls and dimension of our physicality to understand the totality. In the coming time, very shortly, as we produce every week and every month, between around about 15 to 30 of these units, we send a unit to each nation. Keshe Foundation covers the cost. And with it, we allow nation by nation to become part of the space technology through the science and technology. And with it, we take this to the next step. As I said before, it's the responsibility of Universal Council to decide which nation will be on the list. Next one, prepare the community and the society for it to receive what we call the units. Initial 3 units, once they become in the hand of the 3 nations, and then the second lot, as we prepare 2 for each section, for each city, then we launch it. Every week, it is the responsibility of knowledge seekers to decide which nation will receive the next unit, and with it, get the scientists involved in an understanding of the process of the development of this technology. We have put our request, an invitation to the NASA head of every section to join us. And at the same time, we endeavor to do so with many, many nations. And then we make space technology and the spaceship technology as a knowledge of one nation. So by mid-June, we expect to see at least 30 to 50 nations having a unit to be able to be part of, to be able to share knowledge and do it openly on the channels of the Keshe Foundation. In a way, we break barrier of science. We break barrier of patents and technology restriction. It is the responsibility of Universal Council and every member of the knowledge seekers, if you consider yourself knowledge seeker, to prepare your nation to receive the next system. The competition now is for you as knowledge seekers to see how fast you can accommodate, get your nations to accept the first flight units. And then your nation, add your scientists, add their own flavors by adding to the knowledge of the creation, by adding to understand more of the knowledge of the creation. As I said, we make one nation of this planet. And as we are the organizers and what we see through, the end of this year, 2022, we see that every nation on this planet will receive at least one unit to become part of, to understand the technology, and at the same time to become part of what we call one nation, one planet, one race. It will not be exclusivity of what they call themselves superpowers, but there will be exclusivity of every power, every man under this planet. By the end of this year, as we develop these new systems and we deliver, has the responsibility to bring scientists to add their own flavor and their own knowledge to it, but openly, not behind closed doors. There is no exclusivity. This is what we see, and this is how we see it. And it has to become a celebration of each nation receiving its unit that it can join, be part of, and teach the others to become. In so many ways, we have broken the taboo of exclusivity of knowledge of creation to churches, to temples, and scientific organizations. It becomes the right of every man, the soul of every man, to have the knowledge in how we participate and how we do it. As I said, we have set up new organizations in Keshe Foundation as consultants will come in. And through them, we bring in the space scientists. And step by step, we try to see in the Keshe Foundation, as we are the financiers in the background, that every continent receives the same number of systems at the same time. In a way, we don't give priority and we don't give what we call a step upper hand to another. Africa will receive the same numbers as South America, as North America, Europe, and Asia, but with one difference, that all centers, the three centers, will become the center of excellence. In a way we share, and in a way we together understand the technology. The new space systems, now that they're on production line, and then at the same time as we have already produced a large number of the vision units going through the final phases of assembly, we will allow each system to carry one enhancement unit vision that allows the emotion of the man to become the controller of the man. We shall not see control panels as such for the flight. By sitting the man within an enhancement vision unit, man will see the vision of the universe. I want to be in New York. System will take you to New York. I want to be in Tehran in such a street. Will take you to that position. I want to be on Mars on such a mountain. Will take you to that position. So the emotion of the man becomes the controller, but this time it's the emotion of the soul of the man, more than the emotion of the physicality of the man. The two will work together and we understand more. As I said to our team in Austria, as they're putting the systems together, it'll be a wonderful time to see how integration of what systems been developed will come to be used. The same system for health, the same system for production of material, the same system for enhancement of the soul of the man, and the same system for traveling the physical dimension of the man. Thanks to all the work which is getting done, especially in Austria, and especially the work with Klaus is doing in the background to make sure that everything is perfect. We chose the right nation to produce the systems. Nation of perfection, German mentality. Everything has to be precise and perfect. And we see it coming up the lines. We see the production units coming in and the units to be shipped. This process brings a lot of pressure on new knowledge seekers, not us. How to be fair and how to be correct, and how, as members of Universal Council, per language and per nation, to be correct. You're Italian speaking does not mean Italy has to receive the first unit. Whereas other Italians in other parts of the world who have the same beauty and the same position. In Australia, in America, in South America, where? This brings a lot of pressure and understanding, and why we put the members of Universal Council per language and per area which you will talk, you speak, Portuguese, but you're in Brazil. The member of Universal Council for Brazil has the same right as the member of Universal Council for Portugal. And this is the way we run. We'll see because and through the application and delivery of the enhancement units for flight, numbers of the members of the Universal Council, people who would like to be there to serve, will increase. And we have prepared ourselves for such a move. We will see the change, and the change is in your hand. These units are physically built now, and physically are and will be in the hand of each nation as the members of Universal Council decide. You have to prepare your nations of the language ready to receive. The responsibility of sitting back is over. You have to communicate with the members of the Earth Council for your section and make sure that is received. And they organize their facilities. From now on, the members of the Earth Council will be called in to serve, and those who are not to serve will be replaced. Understanding the whole structure of the new flight system is the responsibility of every man, not every scientist. And we make a scientist out of every man through simple way of understanding the structure of life, understanding how we are created and how through motion we have additional what we call tool to understand more, to be more humble, and at the same time to serve and become detached from the dimension of physicality. When you can travel the dimension of this planet through the waves of your fields of your soul, would you like to get on a jumbo jet? We've seen many of them grounded for past 2 years because of the virus, and I'm sure we will not see many of them flying again once the enhancement unit flight system is in the position of the governments one by one. Many of your governments will be surprised receiving such a gift, but this is the problem of your nation, not the Keshe Foundation. You need to bring the scientists together to understand that the game of unification of man as one nation, one race, one planet, one religion has started. And that religion is believing in Creator and nothing else. As I said, many countries will try to stop, will try to find a barrier till they find a solution to their own way of doing it. We see the city of Vatican to be the receiver of what? We have many knowledge seekers within the four walls of the Vatican. They understood the ethos and understood the knowledge, and now they have to bring the two together. We deliver one to Tehran and directly to the officers of Ayatollah Khamenei of Iran, for him to understand the term of the science and religion has come together. And we do the same with others, to Jerusalem and to China, to make sure that, first of all, they understand the term of what they call separation to breathe in the path of the Creator has over and has come to an end. And this is the responsibility of the knowledge seekers to make sure these units, as we release one by one, become part of your nation, part of the nation of the language, not the nation of the barriers and borders. There's a lot of work is going on in the background for this unit to fly. It needs for man to free himself from the shackles of physicality. As a messenger, I have delivered my message. As a man of science messenger, I've delivered the science. It's for man to use it to bring peace to humanity and the rest. In so many ways, the time of Mahdi has come. And every one of us is a Mahdi for our own dimension of physicality and totality of the freedom of man. Through knowledge, understanding it, and understanding the process of the creation and the creator. Not by the books, and by the histories, and by relics that is being put on for us to be diverted to understand the totality. In the coming weeks and months, as one by one your nations receives one unit, they have to understand what are we going to do with it. As we saw with the Italian community, when we released the patent on the USB stick, they went to the parliament and they asked the government to accept the key. And we saw the rest of it. It's your responsibility to take this to your nations, to accept the unit and appoint scientists to understand, to work with the Keshe Foundation 3 headquarters to develop the technology for them to become part of this peace technology, not to replicate, but to understand and add to become part of. In so many ways, you're completing this knowledge of the physicality and the knowledge of understanding the technology. It is the responsibility of you knowledge seekers, the Universal Council, the supporting Universal Council, to take this to your governments and deliver to governments. Accept the date of delivery and negotiate with the Keshe Foundation for the delivery. Each unit has been valued at 10 million euro, and we support it, and nation by nation, we deliver it. At the same time, it has to be understood that every nation is responsible to guard it and to teach it publicly. Once you receive these units, you don't put them behind locked doors for scientists to work. You make sure with arrangement with the government and your what we call public media, every development on a specific channels are what we call released to public. People become part of watching it, how it's done, the way it's done. And then the knowledge becomes part of the nations and one nation population. The Chinese can watch the Italians, what they're achieving in their unit, as the same do the Americans with the Africans. This is my goal, and this is what I came here for. To make man to work together, to forget about war and keep him busy with the new tools of the creation, that he forgets the competition and war to be better than the other, but to share equal. Keshe Foundation has pre-ordered 100 units. 6 goes to Arizona, Austria, and Tehran. The other 94 is for your nations. Start dialogue with your government, and we did it. Start dialogue with the universities to accept unis to test flight, and we did it. It has to be understood that you make arrangements with your universities and your government, that the knowledge has to be on an open basis and not behind closed doors. We learned a trick from IEA. We put a camera on top of every unit. Would you like to be a spied on like this and find out which scientist is doing better and then try to grab, steal, or kill? This is the reason we bring this out this way. It's your responsibility and the responsibility of your scientists to be open the way the knowledge seekers are today. 94 units are there on the table for every knowledge seekers Universal Council member for the nation. It's the responsibility of you as the knowledge seekers to encourage your government to join the new space technology and the gift. John and I, we have discussed this in a very detail, and we understand that this knowledge has to be for everyone and open to everyone and every scientist on this planet. We will see no resistance when a gift is given unless there is a what we call predestined reason for it. We do not want to see the flood of scientists from one nation to another to be able to access the technology, where they have it, they develop it, then they become part. It'll become the problem for national governments to agree on a newer structure of governing through the Universal Council and not through borders. Taxation to be understood not to be necessary, where it becomes the expenditure of the totality to make sure that lifestyle becomes the same across this planet. I'm not a dreamer. I deliver a technology which delivers the dream. It's your responsibility as knowledge seekers to see this dream to come to reality as we give you the physical units to achieve it. The technology and the know-how will be lined up to be transferred nation by nation, scientist by scientist. By the end of this year, at least 100 nations should have access to be able to be part of the space technology of today, not the rocket and propulsion, and be accused of every other things except what the reality is. This is my gift to you as knowledge seekers. You waited for years to receive the gift. Now it's on the table. When I gave you the maglev system, you cajoled with the wires. You didn't understand the principle and the details of the fields. This time, I give you the shell, and I give you the knowledge which goes in the shell. It's for you to understand this time the work of the fields. I see some people in the Keshe Foundation to take heed and bleed this project very fast. Jalal, Alex in Canada, Alex in Nigeria. I see a number of other knowledge seekers, especially in Vietnam, to understand the technology and transfer it to their people. It's not anymore who, is now how. We transfer the knowledge collectively, all of us. Once the unit arrives in Arizona, in Tehran, and in Austria, we'll put cameras and we show live to every nation how to and how it'll be. We'll invite the world leading scientists to join us. And with it, we deliver the technology that how the simple system can be changed to transportation, to material production, or to the elevation of the soul of the man. I hope I gave you a very beautiful gift for what you wish for years to do. It's not my job anymore. It's your job to make sure every nation receives this gift and make sure every scientist in each nation has the right to be able to input their system. As we go along, the following systems will be delivered one by one till we achieve a process of understanding the totality. Funding these projects is heavily burdened on the Keshe Foundation. We call upon knowledge seekers to support this project because there is a limitation in what I have managed to support financially, and now it depends on you how you do it in your areas, how you raise the consciousness of your nation to finance the projects, to become part, and to be there to see. We will gradually increase the numbers that it can be used for enhancement unit, that the knowledge seekers in their position, they can show the evolution in science of technology in the world of medicine, in agriculture, in growing plants within these systems, that one plant, the energy from it can feed the nation. In this process, we'll teach you more. And then we'll teach you how to elevate your soul. We teach you how to transport the man to different positions in the universe and bring back to show what we call souvenirs of the beauty of the Creator amongst us in other part of the universe. And as I said to a Chinese friend of mine, Chinese travel to London, and to show they've been to London, they buy the souvenir Tower of London or London Bridge. But when you turn it upside down, it says made in China. In a way, we make it, we send it, we buy it ourselves back and bring it back to show how far we have sent our knowledge, how far we have been able to explore our beauty and bring it back home. This is the process that relies on knowledge seekers, and especially the Universal Council. Especially the Universal Council has to understand how to accommodate this transition. Transition in a way to take the responsibility of the spreading the knowledge and the ethos of the creation. The knowledge seekers become the followers of the knowledge of the Creator, and no religion and no path, but their own. They decide the way they serve, they decide, they see the beauty in serving. As I said, we are not replacing one with another. There shall be no more religion, but there'll be a guiding line through the soul of the man, as we have a soul in the body of the man to centralize the soul of every cell, that they all work together in the body of the man. We have created Universal Council to be the central soul of every soul of the man on this planet. And once the Universal Council and the humanity in the creation on this planet understand this, we have created a new body, a body embodiment of the earth with all its citizens in respect of the shape, color, path of belief, position, or what we call the way to live. To be a man, to be an animal, to be a vertical or a stone, has to be able for the man to understand and to guide. The purpose of the creation of the Universal Council months and years ago was to create that self, that soul, for the whole of the totality of the human being. We bring an egg and a sperm together, and by its division and expansion, we create the soul of the man, and the soul of the man creates the physicality of the man. We did the same. We brought from every part of the man to create the sperm and egg, to create that soul, and that soul is the Universal Council. And now it's the job of the Universal Council to give shape to the structure of the planet, and with it, to bring mankind to become part of the bigger structure in a set of the body of the embodiment of the Creator as a universe and a unicos. Now we understand the process of the completion, and this enhancement unit brings you to the point. 94 units available to 94 nations and more. It's your responsibility to make sure this is done, and it's the responsibility of knowledge seekers to bring the change. There is one coincidence, as I said before, not accidentally, but intentionally. 22nd of February 2022 falls on a specific day. If any of you checks and you go on your calendar, you'll come to understand exactly what that date is and what that date means to many of you. (22nd of February 222 falls on Tuesday, on the day of the meeting of the Universal Council, and the day of the change, of the man to understand the position and the time. And as was said, maybe Mehdi will declare himself on that day. Is the responsibility of the man to be ready for the change? Is the responsibility of the man to prepare the mankind and the world leaders for that change? And it's the responsibility of the man to understand that the change through science and technology and ethos has been delivered in both dimensions, the physical and the structure that the soul of the system will create. The new enhancement flight system is not just for the flight. It's for the flight of the freedom of the soul of the man. And it's the responsibility of Universal Council and knowledge seekers to make sure every citizen of this planet every created thing on this planet has equal opportunity to raise his soul to the level of understanding, where it was said the lamb and the lion will live in the same den. In a way, then is the den of knowledge. The soul of the lion and the lamb and the man will understand the same and become of the same essence of the source of knowledge of the Creator. Then we understand. As I said, would you eat your brother or would you kill your own child? And then the killing will come to an end. And in time, man will mature to move on to become part of the universal community and use the field of the universe to survive and not to kill to become part of. When you look at this video again, I hope Rick can play it again. You see, we bring man from the darkness by a ray of light, and to show you how, with that ray of light, I can become part of the universal community by flying into the what I call the womb of the Creator and the creation. Thank you very much for being here today, and I could not give you a better gift and knowledge. That's what I've done today. We go through a break and we come back and we try to answer what question I have. Thank you very much, Rick.
Well, thank you, Mr. Kesh. It's a real pleasure to hear your words today and see the unit and the plans for it. Is just amazing and fulfills many people's dreams of going to space in one way or another. Thank you so much. Okay, I'll play the video again that we saw earlier. And then a couple of other videos during the break, and we'll be back in a few minutes.